Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to talk about an upcoming fight that's happening soon between Sadam Ali making his first defense of that WBO 154-pound title, and and that's going to be against a good, solid opponent in Liam Smith. I think this is a good test for the kid from Brooklyn, for Sadam Ali, and the reason I think that is because Sadam Ali is not really a natural 154-pound fighter, but he happens to have a title at 154 pounds, so he's going to try to do his best to defend that belt and see how far he can go with his reign at the weight class. So when we take that into account, Sadam Ali has a great opportunity in front of him against Liam Smith, the guy that Liam Smith, he gave Canelo some good rounds a couple years ago when they fought. Obviously lost that fight, got stopped, I believe. But he's a good fighter, especially at the British level. He's a good fighter at the British level. He's coming off two good wins against Liam Williams, who is a proven fighter at the British level. Liam Williams had a good win over Gary Corcoran, who Jeff Horn just recently beat. So with that being said, man, it's a good fight for the simple fact that Sadam Ali is not a full-fledged 154 pounder. He's easing his way into the weight because he has a title there, and he's fighting a guy Liam Smith who's a capable fighter and is a full-fledged 154 pounder, maybe a little bit more so than Cotto. So this gives Sadam Ali a good test to see where he's at, ease his way into the weight class before he gets into any big fights. And I'm looking to see if Sadam Ali can build off that win. I still think, what's funny is, I think Sadam Ali in that fight against Miguel Cotto showed me some stuff, man. Granted, it was a Cotto that was on his way out. We knew it was going to be his last fight. But still, he was cherry-picked. You got to understand that. He was cherry-picked so Cotto can look good and have a farewell fight. And that's not what happened. We saw a guy in Sadam Ali who went in there and thoroughly outboxed the aging Miguel Cotto. So, looking forward to seeing what he can do against Liam Smith. Sadam Ali is one of those guys, I feel like a lot of American fight fans have overlooked him. And even I do it sometimes because, when you speak to Sadam Ali, and I had a chance to interview him very briefly in 2016, he's not a guy that says a lot. He's not a guy that's much for words. So when we have guys who do talk a lot, we tend to pay more attention to those guys. But here we have a guy in Sadam Ali who, if we go back and we look at some of his fights as he was coming up, if we can go back and look at the Obregu fight, Obregu was a very tough fighter, and Sadam Ali fought him. Probably looked about as good against Obregu as anybody's ever looked. I know Obregu had fought, I think he fought Bradley, and I believe that was the only loss. Obregu was a good, tough, dangerous fighter. And Obregu had a good win. He stopped Thomas Delorme, and he had proven throughout the course of his career to be a tough, durable fighter. And Sadam Ali looked better against Obregu than probably any fighter has ever looked. Better than Bradley looked. Bradley, had a unanimous decision against him. Sadam Ali, I thought, boxed a masterpiece against him. So if you haven't seen that fight, go watch that fight against Obregu because Sadam Ali looked really good that fight. He fought a French contender, and Francisco Santana, beat him rather easily. Then he had the setback against Jesse Vargas in a fight that was supposed to shoot him. He was supposed to shoot himself into welterweight superstardom because had he won that fight, odds are he would have got the Manny Pacquiao fight. He lost that fight. Vargas ultimately wound up getting the Manny Pacquiao fight. He had to regroup. Then he gets cherry-picked from the Miguel Cotto fight, and here we are now. He's fighting Liam Smith. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing at some point if he can get past this fight because Liam Smith is not gonna be a gimme fight for Sadam Ali. But if he can get past this fight, I would like to see Sadam Ali versus either Kell Brook or Jermell Charlo. I think his skills are good enough to beat a lot of fighters. And I honestly, if he can still make 147, which I think he should be able to, he could beat a lot of welterweights. I think a lot of you guys sleep on Sadam Ali. He's a tremendous fighter. Got good skills. He was an Olympian. Has I don't want to say devastating knockout power, but he's got sturdy power in the hands. So that's the news. Sadam Ali gets his first title defense announced for the date of May 12th, Turning Stone Casino. So be on the lookout for that. Should be an interesting fight. That'll be on HBO and Box Nation /BT Sport if you're in the UK. So check it out. Should be a good fight. Liam Smith's first trip here back to the States since losing his title to Canelo Alvarez. So looking forward to seeing the fight and seeing how Sadam Ali just adapts to the 154-pound weight class now that he's, I guess you could say, a little more settled in, or you think you would believe he'd be a little more settled in. So we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this fight. Sadam Ali, Leon Smith, all that good stuff. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.